Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to give it a few minutes just to give people a chance to join.
Yes, cool. Good afternoon. So I think during the meeting we will not allow the videos and the mics, but we will allow people to ask questions at the end or even during the meeting in the chat. Annie?
Yeah, there's a Q&A section at the very top. Let me know if you can't see it, but it should be there for everyone. So we will be answering all of your questions. Okay.
We will also accept questions in the chat, and we will answer during the presentation if it's possible. If not, then we will wait for the end.
Yeah. Okay. All right. For people.
We should maybe start.
Should go ahead.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy days to attend wherever you are in the world. It's very much appreciated, and we hope you'll have some valuable takeaways from this session. I'm Annie. I'm part of the Brand Shelter team. You won't hear from me a lot today as I'm letting our experts guide you through the hot topic of .brands properly, but I will just talk you through the agenda quickly, and I will keep an eye on our Q&A section, which we will go through at the end of the session. But like Fred said, always just pop your questions and comments in the chat as well, and we'll keep an eye on it. For anyone who won't be able to attend the entire session or would like to rewatch or send the webinar on to colleagues, maybe there will be a recording sent to you afterwards. So please do keep an eye on your inbox afterwards. So yeah, for the agenda.
Yes.
Go to the next slide, maybe. Sorry.
No, I'm already on the next slide. Okay, we have repeated, but you don't. Great.
Yeah,
People
sorry.
should
So we'll start
see.
off with the quick intro of Frederick and Aishigul in a second. Then they'll go on to talk through the ROI and strategic value for your brands. They will explore the benefits of a .brand for your brand protection and digital trust elements before going into real world use cases. So we will hear about how some global brands are already utilizing their .brand. We will then go into more of the practical side of things, discussing what actually happens from the application to the activation stage, and how Brand Shelter and Centrelink Registry can support brands during this process. And then we'll go into the Q&A where we'll be happy to answer all of your remaining questions. So yeah, without further ado, I'll hand over now. So let's kick things off. Welcome and thank you to both of our speakers. Aishigul, if you would like to start introducing yourself.
Thank you, Annie. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aishigul Sekce. I'm based out of the Istanbul office of ICANN. In my role as GDD Accounts Senior Manager, I'm responsible for the relationships with the ICANN's contacted parties located mostly in Europe. And contacted parties refer to GTL, the registry operators and registrars. Thank you for attending this webinar. Frederick?
Yeah, I'm Frédéric Guillemot. Sorry, I was just checking that everybody is watching slide number 3 with a presentation of the speakers. Are we okay? Perfect. So I am Frédéric. I am director of Brand Shelter France, and I've been managing TLD application since the first round in 2012, and I co-founded Severance, and we got acquired, and we merged with Brand Shelter, and we're now a part of Team Internet, and we are keen on the next round. We are ready to present to you what you can expect from the next round and what you can do with a .brand. So don't hesitate to ask questions. We will walk you through first .brands. What are they? And why now? Yeah, because I mean we all talk about .brands, but just a reminder, just for some people who are not as knowledgeable as the other, who don't have the same experience, a .brand is just a full access to your space on the internet. That's something very important. It's one piece of the internet that you would take for your brand. It will be called .mybrand, and it will have your own rules. So you will have to follow ICANN rules, of course, but at least you can make whatever you want within this space on the internet. It's just your own TLD. And why would you do that? Because at some point we are coming. I mean, it's not the same era as 15 years ago. Internet has changed. Internet is now a complete part of our life. And also it's not as secure as before. So we may need to have more control about some space over the internet, and we may need to centralize things. And for brands who have a worldwide presence, it might be a good idea to consider to have their own space on the internet. Why are we talking about it now? Well, because it's time. There is a next window opening in April 26th. April 26 is like 8 months, if you look at it from complete month. 8 months is not a lot if you have an IT project. So it's maybe now that we should think about this opportunity. And also, the last time we had this opportunity was in 2012. So that's, if you make the count, it's around 14 years ago. It took 14 years to open a new application window. So don't miss this one. Sorry. I was cut for...
Oh, I think you cut out for a little bit, yeah. You're back.
I'm back. So we will give you some food for thought to be able to explain to your CFO, your CEO, why you should apply for a .brand. So you can save money, you can make money with a .brand. You might not make it break even, but at least you can make it a digital asset, something that is a real asset for you, for your brand. Once you have that, it's something that other people don't have, and it also can be amortized in your balance sheet. It's also something that will help you, and we will see a bit later more details, but it will help you to save on marketing costs. Because it will help you to rank better and higher in the search engines. It will help you to reduce the number of domains that you will have to register. So it's an opportunity to centralize and save on costs. Same thing with the SEO. I will show you a bit later some examples. There will be some examples on a French company using their .brand for SEO purposes. You will also be able to reduce a brand and IP risk and increase your brand value. Just imagine at some point you have your .brand and you get acquired by another company that doesn't have a .brand. Whose name is going to be kept? Whose name is going to be the main name in the future? Maybe the one from who has the .brand. So your brand will gain some value, and you will also be able to tell your customers, if it's not under .mybrand, well, it's not us, so don't order anything don't sign anything, don't give any credentials to anyone if it's not under .mybrand. That's, I think, one of the main reasons why we should have why someone should have a .brand and should apply. Because at some point, phishing is like all over the place over the internet. It's now the time where you can tell people, okay, you can order online, ordering online is fine, but you need to check whether if it's under my space, my own private and secure space over the internet. So reduce the risk and use your .brand. And also, and I guess all the people in the audience who have at some point wanted to register a domain name, oh, I like this domain name, I want this domain name, it's taken already. If it's taken already, at least within your brand TLD, it's available for you. You don't have to buy a .com, very expensive .com, because it's got some value. It's the name of the product that you want to launch. You can just your own words within your .brand. So it's something that is really more flexible and can give you an advantage for many occasions. Right. So these things, these kind of matters are some things that you can tell your colleagues. Yeah, well, we should apply for the brand. You might get an answer like, why? Why should I spend that? Well, because maybe we could try to save on marketing. We could also benefit from our better brand exposition. Because if we are .brand, it means we are at the higher level of the internet. That's better. So you can save on SEO. I can't really give you an example of how much you will be able to save. And that's depending, of course, on your business, on what you're doing, on your annual spend on marketing. But there is a value in that. Also, if you work with your .brand and convince people that they should not do anything if it's not your .brand, there might be a decrease in the number of domain names with your name, the name of your brand, trying to abuse your customers. So there might be a decrease at some point of UDRPs or Cs and Ds letters or actions that you might want to execute with your lawyers. So that's also peace of mind and some savings on that. So here we have this figure. This figure is, quite high. According to IBM, one data breach cost is 4.4 million per incident. I think it's a lot. Maybe it's a high range, but at least anything that can improve your cybersecurity, your infrastructure, is good to take. If you have your own TLD, you control what is within the space. You can control even the certificates, even the authentications within the space, and you reduce the risk of any data breach, of any attack. So I'm not saying, of course, that if you apply for a .brand, you will save 4.4 million. No, I'm not saying that, but at least you might save on danger. You might get more peace of mind, and you don't want to risk it, of course. Also, as we talked a bit earlier, the interesting names, the names that you want to use for a new product, the names you want to use for a new campaign, they are taken in some other space. Here, you save on premium domain names. You just take your own names, your own words that you want to use for any product or campaign. So you can save, maybe we said 50K, because if you have the habit to buy new names, negotiate new names sometimes, maybe you can save some money. And also last, and that might change a bit, but at the moment, defensive registrations, sometimes you register a lot of domain names just as a defensive, with a defensive strategy. Here, it might change with all the new blocking systems that have come to the world of the internet, because now it's easier to block domain names than having defensive domain registrations. But still, you can save on some defensive registrations. So all these points here are good points that you can point out to your CFO for your return on investment when you want to apply for this deal. And you have to find solutions to save some money, because these TLD, these dot brands, they have a cost. They have a cost, and we have tried to give you a range of a split of the costs for applying for a new TLD, for a brand TLD. There is an application cost that goes to ICANN. ICANN is the body that rules over the internet and makes sure that everyone, every TLD is allowed and is running smoothly, and that's quite an important thing, because if we want to have trust within the internet, we need to have it working safely. And so $227,000, that's the application cost. If you want to make your TLD a dot brand, and a dot brand, that's a space where you're the only one who can apply for a domain, you have to pay $500 more. I mean, if you compare it to 227K, that's fine, that's okay. Then there will be, don't forget, an annual operation fee of 27K per year. This will cover 5,000 operations, renewals, registrations, and so on. So usually, in average, people who have dot brand have less than 100 domains, so they don't have 5,000 operations per year. So that will be a fixed amount. And then you will have to pay also for a registry backend operator, a registrar, and a data escrow provider. Just in case something happens, at least someone else has got your data and can use them to make your TLD run again. These three people, you can estimate the cost to 35K, 40 maybe if you take all options, 30 if you don't, if you want to do many things yourself, but 35K would be an estimation. So that would bring you with a yearly cost of 52K. It's an approximation, but I know I get asked by many people, how much does it cost exactly? So exactly, I don't know, but I can give you an idea of the budget that you will have to forecast. 52, 50, 55, it depends if you want what you want to do. And then also don't forget that you have to write the application. And writing the application to ICANN is quite a big file. It's not registering a domain name. Huh? You don't have to just fill in your name, address, and so on. No, you have to fill in a lot of things, telling what you want to do with your TLD, showing who you are. Do you have enough money to cover the risk and to be able to operate this? And this is quite a lot of work. And maybe if you want to use a consultant, Brandfilter, for example, they will also charge you for the application fee. We will charge them. So I would say 320, 350K, that's the kind of money we're talking to apply for a domain name, for a TLD, sorry. It seems a lot, especially when you're used to register domain names in .de for a small amount. But when you come to that kind of amount, when you come to that dot brand, you have to compare to marketing campaigns, TV ads, and then you are in the same kind of area as TV ads and marketing campaigns. In that case, it's not that expensive. So you just have to have that in mind. It's just changing. It's not just a domain name. It's not like 20 euros for a domain name. It's just in the same kind of budget as marketing campaigns. Right. I was trying to give you an overview of the costs, but I can give you the cost. I can give you some ideas. We can give you ideas about what to do with your TLD. But if you don't use it, you will never make any return on investment. Some people in the past, there were 1,900 applications. Some people didn't use it at all, so there is no ROI. But here, if you want to use it, at least you need to have a governance, an internal governance, a team within your company that is ready to collaborate and lead the project. It's important to have that everybody within the company knows that you have this brand and they want to use it, or at least a team that want to use it. Also, your brand needs to be accepted on all websites and browsers, for example. And I know example that ICANN has been doing a lot of things to reach out and to make sure that it works for the last 13 years. Did you? Yeah, can you tell us about?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Maybe I'm not sure if all the audience knows what universal acceptance is. It's the term that ensures that all domain names and email addresses, regardless of their character length or script or language, are recognized and supported by all internet-enabled applications, devices, and systems. And as you know, with the launch of the new GTLD program back in 2012, there were more than 1,200 top-level domains introduced in the DNS. Some were IDNs, and some were, of course, longer than 3 characters. And of course, some applications and devices, they did not recognize these long characters. So this universal acceptance term came out of this because it is a term which wants to make sure all these domain names are accepted and recognized by all systems. So this is a very important topic because ICANN always wants to make sure internet is inclusive and it's a multilingual internet, and everybody using different languages, different scripts, they're all recognized and that they have a representation on the internet. So universal acceptance and IDNs also, they are a key point of the next round. And for the last 13 years, as you say in this slide, ICANN did a lot of things actually to promote universal acceptance. Actually, for the last 10 years, our focus was mostly on creating UA awareness. So to create UA awareness, we actually also had to promote next round, top-level domains that were introduced back in 2012. So that people are aware of these new GTLDs and then they do something in their systems to make sure their systems accept these top-level domains. And also the email addresses associated with these top-level domains are accepted. So there was a lot of work going on for the universal acceptance for the last 13 years. So it was mostly focusing on the awareness. So it was not just working with the content parties, also with the community members. We reach out to universities, like academic people, even UNESCO. So many multi-stakeholder model, people were in this one. And then there were some volunteers also working on creating awareness on universal acceptance. This was one part. And then as of this year, and now with the launch of the next round, which is coming up next year, April, ICANN is now focusing on more of universal acceptance adoption. So it is now our focus is shifting from awareness to adoption now. Actually, you can see if you check our new strategic plan for fiscal years 2026 and 30, you will see there is actually a goal for universal acceptance. So universal acceptance and IDNs are really important for us. And then they also support the next round because we want to make sure internet is accessible and accessible for everyone using different scripts and languages. Yeah. And it is also important for brands, of course, because the brands, they need to make sure their top-level domains are accepted and appearing in all devices, right? Because in the past, it was like it used to be .coms and .nets, like the usual top-level domains that everybody is familiar with. But now, if you're a brand, like your .brand TLD appearing on a device, you want to make sure it is being opened, right? So as ICANN really cares about it, and there are a lot of work going on creating UA awareness and UA adoption.
Thank you, Edu. Yeah, for example, it means that if the Swiss company Nestlé would apply for a .Nestlé, they would be allowed to have an E with an accent, for example, because of IDNs.
Mm.
And yeah, and someone wants, sorry, a few issues. Anyway, so thank you. And also maybe if you have that, if it's accepted everywhere, you have to write your strategy before the launch, and you can change it if you want to use your TLD. The good thing is you can change it if you need it to change. Also, the good thing about working with us on a .brand would be that you can forget about all the technical questions. We should be accredited as Central Link Registry is managing 100 TLD or something like that. I expect us to be accredited. Hopefully, we should be accredited. And we should know. We should have the answer by December. So we will be accredited, and we will be able to take care of everything. And then there is also one big change compared to the first round. The use of the brand TLDs are now clarified and predictable. That means that we know, and a company would know what would happen with a brand TLD, which was not the case in the last round. So yeah, we try to be a bit faster. As a summary, yes, your brand is a strategic value, is a real asset. It will allow you to unify all your naming. You can have France.mybrand, Germany.mybrand, and so on. You can have more value and more solutions for security, and it can also give give a good image. Is sending a good image of your brand about security and innovation. And it will give you a good opportunity to also control your subsidiaries and your partners. For example, you will be able to give a domain name. You won't give the domain name. You will allow your partner, for example, to use a domain name under your TLD. That's an opportunity for sponsoring events, special partnerships. So good value, good strategic. Okay, fine. What can we do? Are we sure that we can improve the brand protection and the trust in our TLD? Well, yes, you can, of course. And here we can look at what I said a bit earlier, the customer education. If it ends in my brand, it's me. And that's very, very, very important. It's very important to try to convince and make some reach out to your customers and say, if it's my brand, it's safe. You will also be able to you should also be able to have less takedowns. You will be able to have at a registry level the full control of your DNSSEC and all the abuse and so on. And just remember, it's only you who are registering domain names. For example, Isabel, I know we discussed a bit before the meeting. Do you have any statistics about the number of abuse within a brand TLD or within an open TLD? Do you know if there's a difference?
Actually, there's a big difference, Frederic. As you mentioned, because that brand TLDs, they will own their own ROM, or like, let's say, I always do the term playground. So they will, control everything under their top level domain, right? So that's why, there will be probably less abuse in their systems, because it is owned by the registry operator itself. So actually, I was checking the statistics of the .brand TLDs and the open TLDs when it comes to the DNS abuse in these top-level domains. DNS abuse, I refer to phishing, malware, and botnets. So we have a platform called Domain Metrica, and I was checking the statistics for the last 2 years. And it looks like there were only 45 to unique brands, and then only 80 domains involved in the DNS abuse versus 23 million domains which are kind of abused for the open TLD. So when it comes to brand TLDs, we can say that DNS abuse is almost non-existent.
Okay, but still there were 80 domains.
80 domains only, involving 45 unique top-level domains, brand TLDs for the last 2 years.
Okay. Well, even if it's safe, still there is some work to do. Okay, but yeah, that makes a difference. So it's really something that you can bring to your customer. Safety over the internet is always useful, and all these. Well, I won't go. I mean, we've talked about it. This security. It will also help you to unify, for example, your SPF and DKIM and DMARC enforcement. All these policies that you will have when you send emails to make sure that the deliverability of your emails is optimal. Yes, you can use your product brand to for that. You can decrease phishing, and you can improve the compliance to your rules. So we won't. Well, we have talked a bit about this, but really, I wanted to insist on that cybersecurity. It's a real benefit. Maybe just quickly, I don't think I wanted to share with you 6 examples. I mean, there are plenty of examples. Some people are starting to use it for their main websites. But here, 6 examples. 2 examples, Barclays, BNP Paribas, 2 banks. So I was insisting that it's important for security. Well, if banks choose to use their blood brand, most of the time it's because they find it's interesting for security reasons. I have put .aquarelle. .aquarelle is not as big as Barclays or Canon or Google. It's a French company. They have used it. They sell flowers and chocolates. So if you if you want to get ready for Christmas, you can use Aquarelle. And if you speak Italian, you can use Fiori a domicilio.aquarelle. They have tried to, and they have managed also to increase a lot their SEO with the exact match domains within many languages: Chinese, Japanese, Korean, French, and all other languages. And they have really managed to build something within with their brand, the TLD. Global.canon is just like a normal use. I don't want to I switch from my .com to my global.canon. And we can say that for Google, it's a bit shy. They're shy. I mean, they have not switched google.com to home.google, but at least if they are sorry for the interruptions. And last but not least, I was looking at Audi. Audi is trying to handle this, at a geographic level. Berlin, if you want to buy an Audi in Berlin, you go to berlin.audi, and then you have the many shops where you can buy an Audi. So these kind of uses, why not? It's now up to you to know what you're going to do with your .brand, with your TLD, and we can help you. I would suggest strongly, I would suggest that you use a backend operator that is used to managing your TLDs. Just a few words. Centronic brand repository services. We do it. And I have included a small share, the market share for the new GTLDs. 43% of the new GTLDs are managed on the Centronic backend. I think that's really showing that we know how to handle this. And also, I have put the figure there. We have been involved in more than 40 migrations. That means some people were not using us, and then they started to use us, and we have handled the migration. We have been for 2 brands, customer of ours, through that. No interruption, no issue. The whole team is managing that. Great team and great people. So yes, I think it's Well, it's a pleasure to work with this. We all know in the audience, we all know that we don't like when domain names go down. It's always important to keep the domain names up and running. So I collaborate with Brandshelter. Brandshelter is going to use the Centralnik Registry backend operator. We have all these TLDs managed. We have a team that has experience, and we will help you completely and fully with a unique team that will then talk to the former provider or be able to plan for all the migrations. And that's something that is quite unique. We are the registrar, and we are working with the backend operator. It's the same team, same group. It's not a lot of cases like this. So altogether, we can also have all your TLD and domain names integrated within our portal, and that's also an easier thing to manage. So that's yeah. I hope I will have given you some interesting information about your application for the next round. I hope I've given you good information about what we do, but maybe we want to have a bit more details about the application timeline. Because we talked about April 26, but as a rule, what is going to happen before April or now or in 1 year time?
Okay, so Frederick, first of all, let me kind of summarize the bigger picture of the next round. So we had 3 big milestones, which will get us to the next round, to this timeline of April 2026. The first one was the launch of the application support program. I think you have this on the slide. So this program was launched back in November 2024. It will be open till November this year. This program launched specifically for organizations to make it easier for these organizations to apply for the next round, who are either financially or resource-wise not capable of applying. So it's kind of a program to help these organizations to apply for the next round. And the second milestone was the launch of the registry backend provider pre-evaluation program, which actually, I think, as far as I understand, CentralNIC applied for that. And CentralNIC is already an existing backend provider of many top-level domains. So this program was also launched back in November last year, and then it is closed May this year. And then the successful candidates will be announced, I think, by December this year. And then this program will be both the ASP, the applicant support program, and the backend provider program will be opened with the launch of the next round. And then the third milestone, which is I think the most important one, is the publication of the applicant guidebook. Applicant guidebook is a document, very extensive document. I think it is more than 400 pages. It's like a book. Very extensive document which mentions all the rules and procedures about applying for next round. That's why Frederick was telling you earlier that you have to make sure you get yourself prepared to answer all these questions to become a registry operator. It's not like adding your name or phone number like that. So your organization is going through lots of evaluations. Your registry operator, I mean, both financially, operationally, and then there is the piece of the evaluation of the string, for example. So this applicant guidebook actually gives you all the rules around the next round, all the steps, and even, for example, if there are some other people applying for the same string, it talks about what type of contention rules are around, or if there is a refund procedure. So everything is in this book. It's a very important document. And we published this document for public comment back in May this year. As the whole document, and then the report of the public comments is also published. I think it was 2 weeks ago it was published. And we plan to publish the final version of this applicant guidebook by end of this year, by December of this year. So for the potential applicants, I really recommend that you check this document to get yourself familiarized with what type of information you will need to submit to ICANN to apply for the next round. This was a really important document, and there were many works got into this document with the help of the community, of course. Frederick, you were saying something again. Sorry.
No, I wanted to say this applicant guidebook is just like the manual, the notice for a complicated tool that you bought, and that's also a good occasion to choose whether you want to read it, learn it, understand it, and use it for your application, or whether it's better sometimes to use an external consultant. It's your choice. Some companies want to do it alone, but it's just like a new law book. You want to read it and understand it, and it's full of acronyms. It's full of ideas, but at least it's based on the guidebook that was produced 14 years ago, and it's an improvement, and some things that were not clear, not completely clear, have been clarified. So that's a good thing. It's easier to read now.
Thank you for your comment, Frederick. Yes, CentralNIC is, they have lots of experts on this guidebook, and they have been doing this business for a very long time. So yes, it is your choice whether to read it yourself or trust these experts so that they can guide you on the next round. So apart from these 3 milestones, what is next or what is in the future is that as per our timeline, we are planning to open this next round by 30th of April 2026, and it will be through a portal called TAMS, TLD Application Management Systems. So this program, this platform will be the platform the potential applicants will be submitting their applications, and the application window will be open for 12 to 15 weeks, which makes like 3 to 4 months, as far as I understand. And then first, after the window is closed, of course, the evaluation period will start. First, the strings will be evaluated because there are some rules around strings. So the strings will be evaluated. So we will make sure your string is like, as per the guide, as per the applicant guidebook, like the plurals or singulars, or, you cannot use, for example, punctuation marks. It needs to be from A to Z. There are some rules around this, so you have to comply with that one. And also there will be a reveal date. The reveal date is where the strings will be announced. So on that date, you will see if there are some other applicants who are applying for the same string you're applying, for example. And then at that time, you will have the opportunity to go to a contention with these other organization, or you might provide us your you can provide your replacement string to us. So this time there will be the option for providing a replacement string. So if you're a brand TLD, you can provide your main primary brand as your main string, and then you can provide us a replacement string if your main primary string goes to contention. And then if you don't want to go to contention path, for example. So after your string is evaluated, and then if everything goes well, your organization at that time will be going through some checks. And then once your organization is good to go, you will be invited for contracting. And then and your organization will be signing a registry agreement. And then you will become a registry operator. And then, as you can see on the slide, there will be pre-testing period where your TLD will be tested so that we can see if it is ready to be in the DNS, which we call it delegating the TLD. And then once your TLD is in the DNS, which is delegated, and then you can start kind of launching your TLD, the plans for launching your TLD. So as of a delegation, you will need to comply with all the ongoing obligations of your registry agreements. So given the picture here, I think probably the first delegation will not be happening before. I think it will be happening maybe after 15 months once we open the next round. So it will be probably by middle of 2027 when the first delegation is happening, I'm assuming at this moment. So this is the picture we can see from today till 2027.
Okay, so that gives us 2 years, well, more or less 2 years. If I have the ID just tonight, okay, I say I will start my my application, and then in 2 years' time, I would be able to have my first name launched and my first website live.
Right.
Many things. I guess what maybe there will be some questions after that on the different periods and the different rules that you expect. But it's a nice program. It's a good program. At least we know where we're going. It's a project now, and it's easier, I guess, for companies now to enter this program. Remember, if you feel that you need or you can qualify for the applicant support program, that means that you are maybe an NGO, sorry, an association somewhere that you don't have a lot of resources. Maybe you can ask to have a support program. It's before November. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. And I think it only covers one part of the fees. You still have to bring some money.
Correct.
Okay. So no questions, but I guess we will also have to look at something if you are eligible. So at least it's easy. You need to be a legal entity. Right, that's not too bad. You can be a government. You can be NGOs as well, institutions, legal entities. I will not be able, as Frédéric Guillemot, to apply for my .Guillemot. I would have to set up a company first, find 350K. That's also another issue. And I would have to set up a company first to be able to apply for my domain name. Okay. And then we might have some discounted fees, as we said, for the applicant program. And there will be a lot of questions from ICANN to know who we are, who are the shareholders, where do you come from, what is your background. It's also, some people can say, it's why are they asking me that many questions? But it's also a good way to make the internet more secure. We wouldn't want to have a new TLD that belongs to someone selling illegal things or arms or. So at least it's important that you know who is the owner of the TLD. So yes, people will have to check if they qualify. Obviously, if you are a normal company doing business, selling paper pens, there's no reason why you shouldn't qualify. So I hope this has given you a good overview of the program, of the DocBrand program. It's been launched quite a long time ago. It's moving forward now, and we are now in the last 8 months until the opening of the application. So maybe you want to know a bit more. It's a good idea. We have an application guide, a DocBrand application guide that we could go through with you. We can also discuss with you one-to-one, and we can answer questions. And maybe you can also answer questions now. If you have time for your Q&A, if you have, if some items were not clear enough, don't hesitate. Annie, Isabel, and I are going to take the questions. We're happy to take questions.
I was going to say, sorry. Thank you both so much for all of these insights. I think we've covered a lot of relevant information here. There's no questions in the Q&A so far, so if anyone has a question at this point, please feel free to drop it in the chat or the Q&A. But in the meantime, maybe one from me to you both. You both have experienced the last time brands were able to get their own brand in 2012. What do you think maybe the biggest learnings were from the first round, and what can companies take into this next one? Maybe Fred, if you want to go first.
Oh, ladies first, and I mean,
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Isabel, do you want to go?
So first of all, I'm not operating a brand TLD, so maybe I shouldn't be speaking from a business side of things. But for the potential applicants who plan to apply for that brand TLD, what I can tell is that first of all, please register your trademark, because one of the criteria to have a brand TLD is that you have your trademark registered before you apply for the next round. So please do that first. I think that's the that's the thing I just want to communicate. Frederick, the floor is yours.
Yeah, no, it's really important. Exactly, you're right. And it's what we've seen in the past. It was defensive registrations of new TLDs. I don't think you should do that. I think you should apply for a TLD if you want to use it and if you know that you will be able to use it. And if the first ID you had is bad, then you might have a second ID, a third ID. It's not really important. You just have to want to use it. You use it and you test some things. Some people use it for their Wi-Fi portal, wi-fi.mybrand, sso.mybrand for the login pages. It's completely secure, fully controlled. I think it's a good idea. And yeah, and the difference with the last time is that I mean everybody was learning while walking, while doing. So now we know what to expect. There will be an application. We know the questions. We kind of know what ICANN will expect because the first time you didn't know what was expected. Was it expected that you reply with a short answer or with a huge answer? So now we have a kind of idea of what happened and what we should do now, I think.
Yeah, Frederick, I just want to also add, you're right. I think originally when we launched the 2012 round, first of all, there were no concept of that brand TLD at that time because specification 13 was introduced in 2014. So it was actually after we closed the round. So at that time, I think many registrations of the top level domains for brands were defensive ones because people did not know what would happen. DNS would be expanding suddenly from 22 TLDs to 2,000 top level domains. So people were a little bit hesitant, and then that's why most of the registrations of the brand TLDs were, I think, defensive. But in time, people realized that there is a really big value of having their own brand TLD. First of all, it's safe. It is their area, and then they can use it whatever they want. They can put their product names under their top level domain, or there are many different examples of different usages of brand TLD. So now people know what to do with the brand TLD. So I think my expectation is that in the next round it will not be more like a defensive, but people will be using it. I think their brand TLDs. That's my individual thought. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. It will be used. It will be used. Maybe I don't know if you have. We are talking about cars without drivers. Maybe at some point, a car company. We were talking about Audi. A car company would have their own TLD, and each car would have a domain name. You would control that would be the interface or the control panel for the cars. I don't know, but there are so many things to do, especially now that connections are different. 10 years ago it was 3G, now it's 5G. Many things have changed in the usage of the internet. So I hope it was clear enough. We could carry on. I mean. Like you said, Annie, we lived through the first round, and sometimes when you discuss about this, it looks a bit like people coming back from an old war, like veterans. So it was a special time, very exciting, and now it's also exciting because we know that people will apply, will use it, and that makes a difference. I also expect maybe a bit more geographical names, not brands, but I would expect more countries, cities, not countries, but parts, areas or cities to apply, because I think it's a really interesting point to have your .Paris, .Berlin, or so on. There might be some application on that, and I hope and I expect quite some applications from .brands. So, thank you, Isabel. Apparently, we don't have any we don't have any questions. It means we were very clear. So thank you. Thank you, everyone here. And I really thank you for your attendance. I really thank you for coming and staying for 1 hour with us and discussing and on the brands. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aizagul, for bringing us the word of ICANN. Thank you very much. Thank you, Annie, for the presentation. And I should say thank you, and hopefully don't hesitate to contact us. We will send you the replay thing.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.